Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another quick kind of top 10 video, top 10 what I want video. So I guess you could say this is an idea video in some ways, but this is a top 10 most wanted costumes for The Simpsons Tapped Out. So I did this video quite a few years ago, and the list has radically changed. Originally I had Mod Flanders as number 1, because my original kind of thoughts on Mod Flanders being added in the game is because we've already got her ghost. I thought it'd just make sense if we got her human self as a skin for the ghost, but now my opinion for that has changed. I think it makes more sense now that they've added a lot more kind of, future characters and different versions of characters, things that usually would be costumes, which are now just individual characters. I think it makes just more sense to add Mod Flanders as a actual character rather than a skin. So that's why I've changed her. There's also just a few other ones that were added, a few things that I've just changed my mind on, and so yeah, I've built up the list. It's quite different, so let's see. So number 10. And this was originally number 4 on my list, but now I'm not so bothered about it. But I still would like to have this in the game. And this is Cleric, which is Marge's Earthland realm character. Now, in a lot of ways, I think Marge's one would be the best one to add, of course, because it's the most prominent one. Obviously, we already have the Shadow Knight, which is Bart's character. I was very surprised that they didn't add this in the Game of Games update, because it definitely is, it's a game within the Simpsons universe. So, and it's not like, although there's one episode that focuses on it, it has appeared multiple times in the show, like it's been mentioned and you've seen things for it, so they definitely could make a mini event maybe out of this and add a few of the costumes. Now, I don't think they should add all the costumes as such, but Cleric would definitely be one I wanted. Maybe the Skinner, the turkey Skinner, that would be hilarious. The only reason why I want these to be skins and not characters is because we already have the Shadow Knight in the game, so I would like them to be consistent. Now, if the Shadow Knights wasn't added yet, and then they were said to add, they never added the Shadow Knight, and they were to add the Shadow Knight soon, like say next update they were going to add the Shadow Knight for the first time, and they made it a character, I might not be so annoyed about it, and I'd be fine with these all being individual characters, but considering they've already added the Shadow Knight as a costume, I would like all of these to be costumes. So yeah, mainly Cleric for Marge, but I definitely would like a few of the others as well. So yeah, that's all the Earthland Realm costumes. That's number 10. Number 9 is Drag Sideshow Mel. So a lot of people have been talking about this. Obviously, the most recent Pride update added both Drag Homer, and they added the drag for Waylon Smithers, and they added the Glamours and Marge, which is Marge's drag costume as well. And Sideshow Mel Drag Sideshow Mel was quite prominent in the episode, and also Drag Sideshow Mel appears in the questline for the event. So a lot of people would prefer it if they kind of completed that collection of costumes, the collection of drag costumes, and added Sideshow Mel. And I definitely agree. I think there's a good case, and I think this probably is the better looking one out of all of them. Like in terms of which one looks the most unique and look like Homer's one's fine, but it's kind of like it's not exactly very attractive. Whereas like Waylon's one is okay, but I don't know. This one looks the most unique to me, and I think I don't know. In some ways, it would be the coolest one to get. I think out of all of them. So yeah. That's the case for Drag Sideshow Mel. I think that would be good. It's not a costume I'm dying to have in the game, but it definitely would be cool to kind of complete that category and also appease the people who really want it in the game. I know Spring King was saying that he wanted it in the game because obviously it was in the quest line, and that makes a lot of sense. So anyway, number 9, Drag Sideshow Mel. Number 8 is Rory B. Bellows. So this is actually Krusty the Clown. This is in the Bart the Fink episode. There's a similar reasoning for the reason why I want this to be added, and that is we've got the plane, the roller gay plane, whatever it's called. The little plane that we got in the Bart the Fink update. I think we got the Cayman Island Bankers as well. So we've got things from that episode already, and I definitely just think this costume should be added for Krusty. So this is his kind of his identity. He obviously fakes his death, and then he pretends to, he becomes Rory B. Bellows. I have an update coming up. It's a Krusty themed update. It's a very big update though. I've gone a bit crazy with it, and Rory B. Bellows is in that update as a costume for Krusty. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. That will probably be in a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks maybe. probably 2 weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. That update will be, but it needs a lot of work because this is like 6 acts. I went really crazy with it. But yeah, Rory B. Bellows here definitely would be a really awesome costume for Krusty. Number 7 is different race Waylon. Now, I didn't want to call him Black Waylon, but so I've just put different race Waylon because it's not really clear exactly what race he is. Because he's got like, I don't know, it's really weird. He sounds, I don't know. But yeah, different race Waylon. So of course this is the early kind of prototype for Waylon Smithers. This is obviously early season 1. He actually came across on screen. He was animated as African American. There is a reason for it. I forget exactly why, but I don't know. In some way, I can see the case for this being added as a costume. It would be kind of funny. And you can make some jokes like, oh, they whitewashed Waylon Smithers or something. I don't know. I'm pretty sure wasn't it an animation glitch? I'm not sure. But whatever. I just think it would be a funny little kind of unique costume to have in the game. A lot of people have requested this. There obviously are a few different characters who have come across as different races. For example, Judge Snyder used to be white. I think there was a few others that I think Apu once came up as white as well. So there are a lot of characters that have like their races have changed, or their appearance has changed throughout the early seasons to the kind of, I guess you would call it the golden age, or to the modern Simpsons. Their appearance has changed. Obviously Barney used to have like blonde hair. So there's loads of different things that have changed, but the Waylon one is like the most prominent one. It's the one that people most talk about the most. So I definitely think it would be a funny little costume to have in the game. Number 6 is Colonel Homer and Major Marge. So of course this is the Lolly Lumpkin episode. I just think this episode is quite iconic, and I think this is one of Homer's like most iconic kind of alter egos, if you will. So. At least for me, I mean, it might be different for other people. They might not think of this episode too greatly, but that's fine. But I don't know. I just really like the episode. I think it's perfect for a mini update, and yeah, we have you'd obviously get Colonel Homer as a costume for Homer, and you'll get Major Marge as a costume for Marge. Obviously, the Major Marge one is not as like needed, I guess, but the Colonel Homer one, it's appeared in I'm pretty sure it's appeared in 2 episodes, so it's definitely quite prominent, and it's it's very, I guess, iconic for the Lollian episodes anyway. And I don't know, I'm quite a fan of the Lollian episodes. I like the relationship between Lollian and Homer. I do like the one between Mindy, but I feel like Mindy kind of disappeared, whereas Lollian got a second episode. So yeah, I would prefer to have a Colonel Homer and Major Marge in the game. Be pretty awesome. Number 5 is Everyman Homer. So we've of course already got Everyman in the game, but I really think we need Everyman Homer as well. Obviously there's the whole kind of, in that episode, Homer films parts of the Everyman movie. So there's definitely some hilarious animations in there they can add. Also, it's just kind of another superhero costume that I would really like in the game. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they added Everyman, because the actual Everyman character, that version of Everyman, he barely appeared in that episode, whereas this version of Everyman, the Homer version, was quite prominent in the episode. So I think it would make sense to add Everyman in the game. Definitely a costume I would really want for Homer, and yeah, so yeah, that's number 5, Everyman. Number 4 is Donuthead Homer. I have wanted this for like 5-6 years. I've wanted this since I started playing. Ever since I probably more like 5 years. Ever since I played my first Halloween update, which was in 2013, I was thinking, why don't they add Donuthead Homer? That would be so awesome. You could have him like eating his head. It would just look like such a cool costume. So I think it makes sense, obviously, as a costume. I don't want it to be a separate character because it only really appeared at the end of that episode, but it's just so hilarious to look at, and that's the main reason I want it in the game. And yeah, I just think it'd be a funny as hell costume for Homer. I don't think there would be, the animations won't be too great, but yeah, I just think in terms of looks, this would definitely be one of the cooler looking costumes for me anyway. And so yeah, this one kind of comes down to a personal reason, but I really think it should be added. It's funny as hell. Number 3 is Cupcake Kid. So Cupcake Kid, of course, is a alter ego for Bart. It's one of Bart's kind of superheroes. Now, this was obviously at the end of the Pie Man episode. We have Cupcake Kid kind of stand beside Homer, which is Bart in his kind of costume. So it's the sidekick to Pie Man, and that's the main reason I want it to be added. Is it kind of again comes down to completing a category. I think we've got Pie Man. We really should have Cupcake Kid as well, to be honest, just to kind of, that's Pie Man's sidekick. I definitely think another mini event for the superheroes is possible. I don't think it'd be great. It would be a great mini event, but I don't know. I kind of feel like they should do minor events for the superhero stuff just every year. Just kind of like take a week out when they're like a week, like when there's a week between updates. They should just like have a week where they just add a bunch of superhero stuff. They can have like one thing be cash for free for the free players, and then add like a new costume or a new character that's donuts just for a week. I think that would be really cool, and I really hope they do that again, maybe, because I kind of miss the little minor events, like the like for example the little Superheroes Returns minor event that we got. And yeah, so Cupcake Kid is definitely one of those superheroes they could add, as well as Everyman Homer, and as well as, and then that was it really. And as well as Early Bird. There you go, that was what I was looking for. Early Bird is a must for me, because we have all of the defenders apart from Early Bird. We have Hot Flash, we have Iron Lung, we have the Rambler, we have the Fruit Bat Burns. We need Early Bird, goddammit, for a costume for Jasper. He's the only one we don't have, and it just feels really weird that they added all of them but him. So I definitely would really like to see Early Bird in the future, in a future update. It's a kind of a need for me. It's actually driving me mad. I'm getting OCD over the fact that we haven't got Early Bird in the game. So yeah, that is number 2. I really would like Early Bird in the game. It's a must-have for me. So yeah. But anyway, let's hit that number 1. I'll do a little drum roll. There you go, there's your drum roll. Number 1 is the Sunday Best / Smart Clothes Simpsons. So this might be a little controversial, I guess. Not everyone will agree. Now, originally this was number 10 on my list, but thinking about it, I wanted to change it because, let's be honest, out of everything the Simpsons wear, apart from their regular clothes, what is the second like kind of the second clothes that makes the most appearance, if that makes sense? So obviously we always have Homer in his regular attire, and Marge in her regular attire, Maggie in her little blue baby outfit, Lisa in her red dress, and Bart in his shorts and t-shirt. But another kind of appearance that the Simpsons always make is their Sunday best clothes. Now there is also their pajamas, but I feel like the pajamas, there is less interesting things to do with the pajama ones. So pajamas is, I guess, a potential, but I don't know. It's not really. I don't think they can do much with those costumes. Whereas the Sunday best, there's plenty of ways they could add these. They could add it in some sort of like, they could add it in the Christmas event. They could add it in, if they just do some sort of Christian themed event or like a religion themed event, they could add these costumes in. There's plenty of options that they have to add these costumes in. And I think there's definitely some really cool animations for them as well. There's plenty of episodes to look at animations. So obviously you got one for Lisa, one for Bart, one for Homer, one for Marge. I think the one for Maggie is maybe not, because Maggie doesn't really do anything. She's just kind of appears in that attire. So the one for Maggie, I would be like, I'd be fine if it wasn't added. But the one for Homer, Bart, Marge, and Lisa, I think is definitely possible to add, because they have appeared so much and they've done so much. What was it? The Listen Lady for Marge. There's obviously when Homer had his talk show. Bart doing pranks in this. I'm not sure about Lisa, but I'm sure Lisa's done something in her Sunday best dress as well. So yeah, that is my number 1. I guess it kind of could be a bit of a weird choice for some people, but I just think it's the reason why it's number 1 for me is because they've made so many appearances in these clothes that I feel like that it's surprising to me why they haven't added them already. So anyway, that's my opinion. I can see if someone disagrees, or if everyone disagrees about the Sunday best, but I don't know. That's just how I feel. So yeah, that is it for my top 10 most wanted costumes. Please do tell me in the comment section below what costumes you really want to see in the game. Maybe I've missed one of your favourites. Please don't get mad. This is just purely my opinion, and I may have honestly just missed something. I mean, there's over 600 episodes. I just can't get everything. There might be a really cool costume that I've missed, to be honest. But anyway, like I said, tell me your thoughts, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.